Hey everybody, Rob Endsley here from the Outdoor Line on 710 ESPN Seattle. It's fall here in Washington State. That means that silver salmon and king salmon are going to be charging up our rivers here any day now. In fact, they've already kind of started running up the rivers now. Great way to catch them here is with a Kwikfish. Okay, this happens to be a K15. These come in K11s, K12s, K13s. I fish a lot of these K15s, but to make this plug deadly effective, you've got to be able to wrap it with either a sardine or a herring or an anchovy. What we're going to do here today is we're going to take a sardine fillet and we're going to wrap it on that plug. I'm going to show you how to do that to make your Kwikfish deadly effective here for salmon. So let's get started. So here's what you're going to need to wrap a Kwikfish, okay? Obviously you're going to need some bait. These are sardines. You're either going to find them as whole sardines like this, or raised baits. They're actually selling sardine fillets now, so you may find these at your tackle shop. But either way, you're going to need to find some sardines, and more often than not, it's going to be in the whole form like this. You're going to need some scissors, a fillet knife, okay, and then one of two things here. I like to use what's called spider thread. This is a rubber stretchy thread here to wrap my Kwikfish. And Luhr Jensen also makes a product called Magic Thread. It's just an elastic thread that works really well as well. I'm going to show you how to do how to wrap a Kwikfish with both of these here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to fillet a sardine out for you, and we'll go ahead and wrap a Kwikfish here. Okay, the first thing you need to do is just pull out a sardine. These are fairly small, kind of average size sardines actually, but you'll see them a lot bigger than this too. This size works really good. And you're just going to take a fillet right off the side of that guy there, like so. Okay. Take the other side and fillet that other side down so that we have a couple of nice wraps going here. There we go. There's a couple of wraps. Now, you can't just put it on like that. You've got to actually take your scissors. You're going to trim this down. So I like to have a wrap that's about like so for my K15s. And you want a nice uniform strip here. So you're going to cut that belly section off. And look at that, we have a nice uniform strip now. Now we're going to make a little pair of pants out of this. My old buddy Rod Bush, who used to guide up on the North End rivers, used to call it that, and I think it still works pretty good today. Look, you got a little pair of pants there now. Now you're ready to slide that on the belly of your Kwikfish. Okay, we're going to take that sardine fillet there. We're going to lay it right over that belly eye like that. Kind of pull it together down here. Now we're going to take some of that spider thread. The nice thing about this, you don't need to do a half hitch on there to get this started. Just lay it right across the front of that sardine fillet and start wrapping. Okay, I like to start at the front and work my way to the back. And you may have to occasionally kind of push that thing over because it'll want to lay over on the one side for you there. There we go. We're going to go all the way to the back here. Keep those hooks out of the way. Now see how that's getting off to one side? We're going to want to just shove it over just a little bit. Keep it right in the middle. And I like to always finish on the front end here. Now the nice thing about this spider thread, you can just pull on it and break it off. You actually don't need to tie a knot with it, a half hitch, but I do like to put a couple half hitches in there. So I'll do one, like so. I'll do another one, like so. Tighten her down. Now just pull on it, and there you go. Now you're not quite ready yet. Before you fish this thing, you need to put it in the water and make sure it's swimming straight up and down. Okay, that means tuning it. Every time you put a new wrap on there, you've got to tune this plug. Okay, we're pulling that through the water. See how it's kind of swimming off to the side there. If it's doing that, let me pull it through the water here one more time. Okay, see how that thing's swimming off to one side there a little bit? We're going to have to tune that thing back over. Okay, now we're going to take our pliers and we're going to twist the eye the opposite direction that plug was swimming. So you can see this eye's kind of laid over a little bit. I'm actually just going to straighten that up just a little bit. And we're going to try it again. That's probably going to get it pretty darn close right there. Let's try it again. Okay, that Kwikfish is running pretty darn good right now. We're going to be ready to catch some fish with that baby. Okay, we've got this K15 Kwikfish all tuned up. Got a nice sardine wrap on the bottom of it. This is going to last generally 45 minutes to an hour before I want to change this out. If you don't get bit in that time, pull this off, put a fresh one on. Remember, every time you put a fresh wrap on here, you've got to retune this plug. These things work really well for silvers and kings and the rivers here in the Northwest. You'll see I got a lot of guys using them once the water comes up a little bit here. I tell you what, I'll be using it once we get some rain here in Washington. Here's Duane Inglin with another great bait that he's been using on his Kwikfish that works really good. Check this out.
Hey everybody, Duane Inglin with the Outdoor Line, and you just finished watching Rob talk about how to wrap a Kwikfish with a sardine wrap. There's some other bait options out there that work very, very well, especially in the fall time when we get a ton of pressure on the rivers and everybody's running the same type of bait. So what I like to do is I have a good amount of buddies that love to go tuna fishing, and when they harvest their tuna, I make sure they always bring me them big fatty tuna bellies. For some reason, king salmon just go nuts over the smell of fresh tuna oil in the river, and if I have some in my boat, you can bet they're going to smell it coming off of my lure. So I like to do a couple things though to get it ready, because if you look at this piece of tuna off the belly, this is a belly strip I cut. It is far too big to put onto your plug. You cannot run that on your plug, it won't work. So I'm going to show you how to tune this piece up and get it ready to put on your plug. Okay, so what we have here is our 3 pieces of tuna, and they're really good size. What I want to do is get these down to where they're about the size of this sardine fillet, so they'll fit on my plug real nice. Now the one thing you have on tuna is inside the belly you have this nice tough piece of skin. And on the outside, obviously, we have the external skin, which on tuna is really, really tough, and it holds up very well. Between the two, we have all the meat and the fat. So what I like to do is get 2 for 1. I can run this on the back side as well as this. So the first thing I do, after I've cut them into strips off the belly, I soak them for 24 hours in fire brine. It toughens them up a little bit and adds color. Now I'm going to take these pieces of meat and I'm going to cut them lengthwise with my scissors, okay? Now it's kind of tough to get through, and you got to hold them together because there's a lot of fat in there and they like to kind of fall apart. So we're going to trim that right down the middle, just like that. Now you can see all the fat along the sides and actually the meat that runs down the middle here, all right? When this is wrapped on a plug, it holds together very well. Again, still a bit too long. This size of piece right here, I can actually cut right in half. And now I have a nice symmetrical piece of meat there that's not too thick. And again, with my scissors, because this outer hide is extremely tough, I got to make the old Robbo's pair of pants. And we're just going to cut that right up the middle. Okay? And now that piece is ready to go ahead and put on a plug. Don't throw away the other side. This piece of meat will also fish because I have this skin on, which is actually the inside of the belly. Now this is the side I put against my plug, so I can do the same thing. I cut this in half, like that. I take this little piece here and I will cut it up the middle. It looks like it's coming apart, but that's because, again, there's so much fat and oil in here. So what I do now is I put that on the plug, wrap it with my magic thread, and it's going to fish just fine. So there you go. Couple of choices for you there as far as options that you can use for your meat. Those sardines or tuna, extremely powerful. They work well because of all the oils. You're looking for meat with a lot of oil. Make sure you trim them up nice and small strips that go on there nice and square. Get them wrapped on there, trim them, and remember to tune that plug. Don't just throw it out there and run it and let it go crazy. You got to tune your plug so it runs true. Good oily meat, a true running plug. You're going to catch fish this fall. Get out and give it a try. I'm Duane Inglin with the Outdoor Line. Thanks for watching.